Welcome, buddies, gather near. It's time to shine and lose the fear. Turn obstacles into stepping stones. Turn your dreams into motion. You're not alone. Your success story starts tonight. It's Success Saturday. Together our hearts burn bright. Let Success Saturdays light your way. We're growing, glowing bright today. Turn those challenges into gold. With humor, heart, and love untold. Together we rise, come what may. Let Success Saturdays light your way.
Success Saturday starts now. Okay, where am I? Hello, I am here. Happy Saturday, everybody. If you're just joining in, my name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I am here to make your Success Saturday successful. I know that was kind of like, okay, really, Barbara? Yeah. I am here to make sure that your week, that your day, that the minute, that the second of your life, you have been basically celebrating something that you have done for yourself or for others. This is what it's all about. We are here to make sure that we're lifting up the success that we do, and we do not weigh out what success is bigger than the other. I always tell people, any success that you do to move yourself to another level in your life, to transform yourself to another level in your life, you are being successful. Okay, so I'm going to start off by looking at comments. I see Mrs. Queen Bee, as always, Mrs. Tamara L. Hunter. Yay, Queen Bee. Thank you, lady. As always, you know, I was going to give you some love because you were the one that created this wonderful platform for Chemo Buddies for Life, you know, a long, long time ago. I don't want to go back too far because it's been from years, right? That you was going through your journey, and she can tell her story better than I can, but it is, I always tell people, you go through your down, maybe you go through your ups and downs in life, and it might create something even better and more, not just for you to move forward, be perseverant, but it helps others do the same. And this is what this platform has done. Tamara, if you're, and I know you're on, maybe you could put how long has it been since you created a Chemo Buddies for Life platform? I know I've been with you for a while. And as soon as I, first of all, got to know you and I kind of introduced myself to you, I mean, you know how the story goes, but I did kind of like, was a little bit pushy. Let's just say that. I'm trying to be nice. I was a little bit pushy, and I did want to talk to Ms. Tamara L. Hunter because she won, which is coming up again, the Impactors Award. That's when that was going on for, it's been some years on that too. And she won that award. I call her Miss Impactor. And when I found out, that's when I was doing a lot of interviews, and I was really getting more in media and created my, at that time, my show was called the Diamond Factor Experience Show. Boy, I'm telling my time in this whole media thing myself. And I was just trying to find other people to come on the show and just really shine their light so people know what they did. So I seen the next Impactor. Yeah, it was 7 years ago. Wow. Yeah, it's been a while. And I found Tamara L. Hunter. And we talked. And I'm telling you, as soon as we talked, we clicked. And when she told me what she was doing for as Chemo Buddies and how she went through her journey as having cancer and other people that she knew and friends and everything like that. And her biggest thing was she wanted to make sure that anybody that was going through that cycle in their life, that journey in their life, that they had somebody with them, a buddy that they can talk to, that they can feel safe with, in all different aspects. So when I heard, see, that's so, and this is what we're going to be talking about in a minute. We talk about passion and purpose in your life. But when I heard, hi, Maria, when I heard that what her vision was, what her mission was, what she was thinking about, and like-minded minds think alike, right? So I went through my own cancer journey. She went through breast cancer. I went through different cancer. So we both had like-minded minds because we both was connected in that type of sense. No, but we didn't know that the journey we had just dealing with the journey of cancer was going to bring us to this point of now we've been on the platforms. We've been, doing a lot of motivational other shows. I'm on her other show as one of the hosts called Let's Talk Fab that comes on every Sunday. Hint, hint, just giving a little promo out there. It will be here tomorrow. And just moving forward in what we do. So it's not just about the sickness that we had that thought that had us, but it was more so the bonding and the collaboration that we two came together, and look what happened through that. So saying all that, this is something that Success Saturdays you can do within your life. Find those individuals, find those people that you resonate with, that believe in the beliefs and values that you have. You never know. Sit and have those conversations with them, because you never know what can come from that. And sometimes it has to be a big old project, or you're doing a big event together. Sometimes it's just having a friend. You met somebody else in your life, and you become friends with that person. So let me make sure I put these comments. Tamara said, next Sunday, we're going to be sharing the next impactors. This next Sunday, February 15th, on the Let's Talk Fab show, the top 5, 2 of the coaches, and the founder will be on the show. So yes, they are starting back after 7 years. 7 years, the next impactor is coming back. So we'll get to see who the next one is. So right now, the reigning person right now is still Tamara L. Hunter, because she's the first one, the only one that won that award. But now they're doing it again, and we'll see who's going to win this time. Oh, that's so nice, Tamara, having a buddy and a sister. Yeah, I always think about that commercial, well, not commercial, that you did for Chemo Buddies, and you had some of us come in and say different thoughts. And I always say, I am a chemo buddy for life. And it's been 7 years. 7 years. Every time I think about that, I said, yeah, it's been a while. It has been a long time. And look at everything that's been accomplished through those years. So Maria Jamarlo, hopefully I'm not saying your name wrong. If I am, please forgive me. It says, me and Jefferson, only more people, please. Okay. I'm trying to code that out, but thank you for coming and watching. And you should play. Okay, I will. You know what, Tamara? I will do that. I will play that video so people can understand the foundation on where this show and all the other shows that's under the Chemo Buddies for Life umbrella. Because we always say all roads lead to Chemo Buddy for Life umbrella, because we want people to know that we are there for them. They have buddies in us. We have volunteers. I'm a senior volunteer of it. We have a few other ones. Caroline Brown, she's not here, but I know she's probably watching. And the queen of Queen Bee was called Tamara L. Hunter. She's the one that discovered it. So with that, Tamara, I will play that video, because people really need to understand where all this comes from. Once, there's, Tamara, I'm just going to be totally honest here. There's a lot of videos listed here. So I need to find the one, and I just did. I'll be right back.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for Life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
anytime I see that introduction commercial about Chemo Buddies for Life, it just brings a lot of memories, really good memories. And yeah, I'm still in there talking, hollering, talking about I'm a chemo buddy for life. I told you. And I'm still here. I'm still standing, and we're all still standing. You know why we're still standing? Because we know how important it is for people not to feel alone when they're going through that journey. And it just doesn't have to just be, you're hearing the word from the doctor from cancer or anything. It doesn't have to be a sickness. You could be going through something. Maybe you're depressed about something, or maybe you're angry about something, or it's just not a good day today. That's okay. I keep telling people we're all human. We go through. That's why we need each other. So when one person feels down, the other one lifts each other. We lift the other one up, right? And we keep doing that. And that's a part of being a part of this group, being a part of this community. So part of this community, if you're, like I said, you're just watching, you're just coming and watching. This is Success Saturdays with Barbara. And I created this a long time ago under the Chemo Buddies umbrella. And I did it for a while. And then I had to stop because there was other things that I needed to do that God basically put on my heart. And I had to kind of keep it moving. But one thing I did not stop is to still be a volunteer, still be a person here to help and guide you in every aspect to make sure that you knew I was here for you. So I always tell people, I'm never too busy, or we should never be too busy to check in on somebody or help somebody in the time of need. Because I always mention to people that no matter what you're doing in life, be it if you're doing at a job, or if you're in a certain project, or you're working on something, we always need to reach out and check on each other. We always need to do that. That's why I call them check-ins. I always say, have you done your mental check-in today? Right? Let's see. You are always there whenever a buddy needs. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So if you're looking at this live, welcome. If you're going to be looking at this on the replay, always remember this is VOD. I always say video on demand. So we're always going to have this here. Well, yeah, we'll have it in the YouTube, but Facebook, they do different things now. They only leave the videos on, like the live videos, for 30 days. After that, it drops off. But the nice thing about this is we always keep the recordings. Me and Tamara make sure we download and make sure we have that for backup, so we can always have these type of recordings to share with you. Okay. Now, with that said, let me hear your success. And what I mean by that, put it in the comments. If you are looking at me right, you know the drill. I want to see what you have done this week, today, 2 hours ago, 1 minute ago, 1 second ago. I want to hear your success that you have done for this week, because we want to first celebrate you. And second of all, send the love, send the heart. So I want to see some hearts. I want to see some love out there for each other, because this is what it's all about. If you have been hearing me talk in the last, the beginning of the year, you know how some people at the beginning of the year, they pick, I'm going to pick a certain word that I'm going to follow the whole year. I'm going to pick a certain word. Well, my word that I've been picking for every year, because it never changes, is love. Love, love. That's the first thing we should all be doing, is love. That's what the Bible says. And I'm following the Bible because I love God. So if I love God and he loves me, then I got to follow the love word. And you know what? It just makes it so much easier when you do it that way. Why sit there and be like, I hate this, or I don't like this. And then you go into that whole snowball effect of complaining and talking about this can't be done. And then words are powerful. So when you put out those negative vibes, it's going to come back to you more than once. I always say it's always twofold. So if I put out a lot of love out there, see how that works? I put a little love out there, then I get a lot of love back. Yes, so that's what we want. So it was Tamara, what do you say? I'm very happy with one of the songs I created. It was very unique, about dream wisdom, and it's going to be played tomorrow. I really like how it came together. Okay, so as everybody knows, Tamara, she produces all the music, all the videos that we show, not just on Success Saturdays, but on Let's Talk Fab and all the other ones. So please show her some love on that. That's a success of its own. Hey, I was just talking about you, Caroline. Good evening, lady, queen. How are we doing, lady? I miss you. You've been gone for I know you're doing self-care, which I'm so proud of you, but we miss you. So I love when I see you come on and make the comments. Thank you for always being there as a support. So just me not being a talking head here tonight, I want to make sure that we go over some things that really that I want you to think about. If I was to title this show, the title would be Success with Purpose. Why your life assignment matters. I want to say it again. I'm going to say it slow. Success with Purpose. Why your life assignment matters. Everybody, first of all, let's establish this before I even start on any type of tips, on any type of takeaways, that your life matters. Like my pastor always says, I always pick this up from her, period. Your life matters, period. And I like when she puts the period there because there's nothing else at it. We're done. That sentence is done. So your life matters, even if you don't think it does. Yeah, I'm going to have to add that because I know already it probably in your head, you're thinking to yourself, well, does it really matter? I don't know. I'm not doing that much. You know, so what am I doing in this world? See, you know, all those doubts, I know they're ringing in your ear because it rings in mine sometime and I have to stop it. That's why, again, it's nice to have being in communities and networking and people that you know to stop the madness of the negativity thoughts in your mind. So you are all loved. Yes, 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 yes. You are so loved. Yes, you are. So with that, let's get a little bit into success and how it matters and how you matter. Before we dive deep, you know, somebody told me a long time ago, they like diving deep in the deep end because they said that's where all the fun's at. I said, well, if you know how to swim, it's not that fun. They said, you would say that, Barbara. I'm like, I'm just saying, I'm not diving no deep if I know I don't know how to swim unless you're going to come and help me. But besides that, yeah, they said they have fun in the deep end. I said, yeah, I don't know about that. But with that, I want to, because we're getting down here, I want to play This Is Love. Now, I just talked about love and how important it is, right? So I want to make sure that we get that foundation before we talk anything about your purpose, anything about success, anything about how you matter. Because first of all, you have to what? Love yourself before you can even think about loving somebody. I had a problem with that. Yeah, I had a problem with people like, what, Rob? Really? Yeah, I had a problem loving myself. Okay, don't look at me. I know you're like, you can't see us. Yeah, I can. I don't know. I just got this thinking in my head of you're thinking about it. But yeah, I had to basically get it out of my head and say to myself, okay, do I love myself? And if I'm saying I don't love myself, why don't I love myself? Yeah. So I want you to make sure that we set this tone, we set the stage, we set the foundation, any word you want to use, but we have to set that up front before we talk about any type of success, before we talk anything about purpose, anything, because it all has to ride on you loving you. Because you can't help anybody else if you don't love yourself. And people are going to resonate with you when they know that you don't love yourself if you do. You know how that old saying goes, you know, you want people to treat you the right way. Well, if you treat yourself the wrong way, guess what? They're going to treat you the wrong way too, because you're treating yourself wrong. You don't love yourself. So yeah, okay, you don't love yourself, then we don't love you either. See how that goes. We don't want that ripple effect in your life. So we're going to give you some foundational video here and we'll be right back.
This is love. You belong here. Right here. Right now. Love is the moment you feel seen, sharing what you mean. It's a quiet that feels like home. You feel held wherever you roam. It's a breath that fills your chest, a shining light that brings you rest. This is love, a heart open wide and steady. This is love, meeting you where you're ready. Gentle hands, open and true. This is love. Oh, this is love. Love is a space that lets you grow as you are, wherever you go. It's a kindness, warm and sure, and a welcome that endures. It's a voice that says you belong here, unknown, felt when hearts are clear. This is love, living here in the moment. This is love, holding grace as a promise, here and now, clear and bright. This is love. This is love. This is love is patient, love is kind. It sees the soul before the mind. It stays present, it stays true. Love is alive in me and you. This is love, soft and strong together. This is love, binding hearts forever. Open eyes, open view. This is love. This is love. This is love. This is love.
Yes, yes, yes. You know what? I love that video and that song so much that it made me hot. Okay, people, don't think the wrong thing here. As soon as I said that, I don't know. All of a sudden, I got this in my head like, So anyway, let me say hello to some new viewers since we played that video. One particular person, Mikey. Mikey is here. Michael Adams Cohen. He is amazing, everybody. Amazing. First of all, he's kind of coming back into the social media part. And when I seen him, because I think I was doing a Friday night chat, because we do Friday night chats. Thank God it's Friday chats in the Chemo Buddy group too. And I was doing that, volunteering again, and I seen Mikey come. Well, we call him Mikey. His name is Michael. I'm telling you, you're talking about celebrity status. Yes. Michael, you know you are. You know you are. But you know what? He portrays that song so well. This is love. Because one thing about him, he has that celebrity status, but he's just so down to earth. And he has a heart of gold. He does. He'll help anybody he can when he can. And he'll come on and support you. So with that support, Mr. Celebrity, thank you for supporting me tonight, being on Success Saturdays, watching and everything. So we're going to get really down into what we're going to talk about here, because I really want to go over some things, because I believe that this will help you. Now, we just set the tone. We played This Is Love. So everybody's loving on yourself, right? You're loving yourself, right? And you can take that love and push it forward to others. So, but with that, I want you to understand that success with purpose, because this talks Success Saturdays, right? So I have to give you some tips about success. Why your life assignment matters. Caroline, Tamra, Mikey, everybody that's watching, anybody that's watching the replay right now, your life assignment matters. but you have to understand what it is, right? You can say it all day and night, but you're like, well, I don't know what my life assignment is. Okay. So we're going to go through some, I don't want to say exercise, but still some things to think about. Something that made you go, Remember that a long time ago? I think that was our senior hall. Something that made you go, okay, now I'm telling my age. I just thought about that. But something made you go, So I want you to think about this, and I want you to sit into and just take it in. Sometimes we rush things and we don't really get the whole idea of it, and then we lose sight. So I'm going to read some things because I do have my notes because I want to make sure I'm on point here with you, because this is very important. This is very important to understand how your life matters. Okay. So success without purpose feels empty. It's a statement. Okay. You can achieve titles, you can achieve money, even recognition, but without purpose, it often leaves individuals, people feeling unfulfilled. So basically, true success satisfies both the outcome and the soul. Okay, so I want to put in a prompt. I want you to put in a prompt. Have you ever hit a goal, hit something that you were working on, and still felt something was missing? It's like, oh, I made it. I got this award. They congratulated me on this. I worked hard on this particular project, whatever it is. But then something was still kind of missing a little bit. It's like, I'm glad, I'm proud about it. Thank you so much. But something is just missing. So you have to understand that you're going to feel that emptiness if it's not something that is exciting to you or a passion of yours or some kind of purpose. That's why you have to understand that you mean something to this world, and you have to understand what you like. What are your values? What are your beliefs? What do you like to accomplish? Then once you get that here, but it has to go right here, you're going to move forth in understanding more and more and more why you matter in this life. I always tell people that you are a lighthouse to the world. Every person I talk to, every person, I don't care who they are, I don't care what they do, I don't care if there's an entrepreneur, I don't care if they're, working in a company, an organization, I don't care if they're just opening the door for me. Everybody's a lighthouse to the world. Because your light shines in from out. And you have to always have the pulse of yourself saying, okay, what can I do? And you start off with love. That's why I started off with love. Because if you start with that concept, it won't be so difficult to find out the purpose. It won't be so difficult to find out the passion that you have in your life to move forward. Okay? Yes. Okay, I was just going through that feeling because I believe more people need to know how loved they are. Yes, they do, Queen Tower. We really do. And that's one of the reasons why, we have this community as well. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to repeat it. They said that the art of learning is repetition, right? So with that, I'm welcoming everybody. And if you're just coming into Success Saturday, I'm so proud of everybody coming to support each other, not just me, but others. Welcome. We're discussing basically, if I name this, I'm discussing success with purpose, why your life assignment matters. So you have an assignment. You have an assignment on your life. Let's see. Hey, Adrian, we should always be showing the love. Yes. Well, you're all showing the love tonight. I love it. Okay. Next thing to talk about here, just transferring in here, just transition. Your life assignment is unique. Stop comparing. Woo! I can do a whole series on that. Your life assignment is unique. Each and every one of us is unique. A prime example of that, everybody has a different fingerprint. No one in this whole wide world has the same fingerprint as you. So why do you think that your assignment, what you need to do in life, is going to resemble somebody else? Now, you might be doing the same thing because there's a lot of people that's doing media, right? But no one does media like Tamriel Hunter, or no one does putting productions on like Barbara J. Beckley, or no one knows how to write a book than Caroline Brown. Okay, are you getting this? Are we listening to me here? Right? So yes, you can like the same thing somebody has, but you still have a uniqueness in it. I can't be Tamara L. Hunter. I don't want to be her, and she don't want to be me. I want her to be who she is, because she's bringing in the people that need to resonate, that needs help from her and her light and her originality. Just like me, I'm bringing in people in my life that resonates with me, and I'm helping them in their life. And so is Caroline and everybody else that's on. And people in the replay, get this, because I won't be able to talk to you straight. I'm talking to you straight. I'll be in the replay if you're watching this on the replay. So what I want to say again is, stop comparing yourself. I have to tell myself that I'm going to be totally vulnerable here, because I want people to really catch this, how important it is. Some people look at me on social media or on YouTube, or I'm doing my shows, or I'm helping people doing their shows, and they look at me and say, wow, Barbara got it together. She just knows this and stuff. But behind closed doors, sometimes Barbara compares herself. She does. She looks at other people maybe a little bit higher than what they're doing, with what I'm doing. I'm like, dang, I want to be there. Dang, I should be doing this right now. Why am I not doing that? And then the snowball effect happens. And then the comparison comes. And then guess what? When you start comparing yourself, you lose sight of who you are. You lose sight of your assignment that you're supposed to have in your own life. You lose the sight of your uniqueness that you have in your life, because you're so busy looking this way or looking that way as somebody else. And you have to tell yourself, that's their journey, that's their assignment, that's their time. Let's work on your time. Let's focus on your journey. Now, sometimes people say when you do this, they're like, oh, no, don't do that, because you're closed-minded. You don't want to, you're just looking at, I said, but sometimes you need to be focused, because when you're doing this all the time, you're not getting nothing accomplished. And then you're decreasing your value of yourself. You don't want to do that. What I just said at the beginning of this whole Success Saturday, you mean something to this world. You have an assignment. So you can't start taking away things because you're so busy comparing. Can't do it. I told you I can. So yeah, I'm gonna have to probably do another show just on this alone, because I know this hits a lot of people. I see it all the time when I'm talking to people for show hosts, when they're under the DFN broadcast studio, and I'm talking to them with strategies and stuff. They always talk about, well, this person doing this, and maybe I should be doing that, because this person over here is doing this, and they seem like they're doing great in that area, so maybe I should be doing that. And then guess what happens? They're so busy trying to do everything else, they're not doing anything. Nothing's consistent. Nothing's their passion. It's just they feel like since everybody else is doing it, they should do it. And I keep telling people, no, okay, they're on that track. Get off of their track. Yeah, to do the na, flip it, yes. And not sit there and be so engulfed in their life. You are putting too much real estate in your brain of their life. Take the real estate and put it in your own life and build up from there. Yes, according to Barbara J. Beckley. Happy Saturday, Nori. And see, I love Nori because she knows what I'm going to say. Nori has, her last name is just amazing because her last name is Love. So Nori Love, I love you. We love you. And I just love your name because it always reminds us to love each other. And you know what? It really fits Nori because she loves so many people. She does. She has a heart of gold. I mean, Nori could be on a, I'm gonna tell on her a little bit. She probably, hopefully she laughs at this because I want her to have a smile on her face right now. Nori is the type of person, she could be laying up in the hospital somewhere or whatever, and she'll still call, get on a Facebook Live, talk to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? This is Nori, just checking in. And she does that because that's her heart. She can be sick, not feeling good, everything. And she'll still make the time. She will make the time to talk and to let people know, first of all, checking in with them and then letting people know, hey, I'm real here. This is connection right here. I might not be feeling good. I might be somewhere where I don't want to be, but I want you to know that I'm still thinking about you, and knowing that you might be in the same predicament I am sometime, and there's a connection there. So that's Nori Love. That's why her last name fits her to a T. So with that, see, I'm going right into our meditation mode. So what we usually do in the middle of the show, and Tamara knows I love this part, prayer and meditation. This is the time for you to sit back, think about this past week, think about anybody that you might have lost, a loved one. And sometimes it's not just a loss of a death, but it could be a loss of a job, maybe a loss of a project, maybe a loss of well, I always tell people that have animals, that's their family. So that goes into the family category. But just think about that you're still here, you're still standing, and how you want to push forward, still push forward, because you matter. You have an assignment on your life, and you got to make sure that you're moving on that end, okay? But I want you right now just to take the time, just like 2 minutes, I think it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds, somewhere around there. Take the time just to meditate and just think about that. And then we'll come back and I'll finish up some other tips when it comes to how you matter in your success. You have an assignment. Remember that. Every time I play that nice little track, I always want to just lay somewhere on a blanket with a pillow. Doesn't that, this is so soothing. It's like, oh. So I hope everybody got a chance to really just, sit for 2 minutes. And this is something that I would advise. I can suggest and advise. I don't want to tell. I've been in the past, people told me, Barbara, you can't just tell the person what to do. You can't do that. You can suggest something. You could advise them of something, but you can't tell them. Sometimes I get in my mode where I do tell some people something because I really think they need it, because I have that heart, but yeah, I have to be respectful. I'm going to suggest that you take the time out, even if it's 2 minutes of your day, to just sit back and just meditate. Just go into a quiet place somewhere, Or, like right now, I'm going to be totally vulnerable here. My studio right here is in my kitchen. It is. It's literally my lights, everything is in my kitchen right now. But this is my happy place at times because I'm always, online doing things, either helping somebody with their show or doing some strategy sessions with people, whatever. This is my happy place. So find your happy place and make sure that you meditate on some things to get you to understand of what we're talking about earlier about how you are very important, that you matter. See, I want to drill this into you because I see so many people. See, it's my heartstrings right now. I see so many people that just let life pass them by because they feel like they don't matter. Because somebody told them in their world, or they told themselves. A lot of time we tell ourselves more than other people. Yeah, people gonna throw their little nickels and all that kind of stuff. They think that they're giving us some whatever. But a lot of times, it's putting us down, right? The people that's giving us negative. But see, and people get mad at me with this. I always say this. We can control what makes us sad, what makes us depressed when it comes to other people saying anything. This is where boundaries kick in. This is where you have to love yourself so much that you got to put that boundary and say, you might be feeling bad today. You might be down, depressed, and you want me to come to your party, but I'm not coming to that party. We are not doing a pity. I'm not doing a pity party with you today. I'm not welcome. I don't want an invitation. So you don't go to a pity party, but you have to say that to yourself. A lot of times we get funneled right into their pity party. And next thing you know, they're not only having a pity party, you're having one with them. So now it's a grand event of pity parties. We don't have time for that. Life is too short. There's too much that you have to do. And remember what I said earlier. You have an assignment. Your assignment is whatever purpose you have in your life, you have an assignment to do. So you have time to be doing the pity parties. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer, because I always have to put disclaimer because I have people coming to me saying, well, you just don't understand, Barbara, and I went through this, and sometimes I had to cry, and sometimes I had to do this, sometimes I had to have my pity party. Okay, fine. We're human. Let's get that out the way. Let's just knock that out the way. Yes, I cry. Sometimes I open the door in the front door. People heard that story a lot of times, and I'll yell out real loud, and I'll shut the door because I had to let steam out. And people look at me kind of weird around the neighborhood because they're like, okay, why is she howling out the door? And then shut the door. She's crazy old woman or whatever. Okay, I get it. You got to let it out. I always tell you have to let it out. A real deal best friend of mine, he always tells me, you need to let it out. Don't keep it in, because what's going to happen is you keep it in so much, and then when it finally does come out, boom, everything coming out, everything. And then you might say some things you don't want to say to some people, and we don't want to do that. So that disclaimer is there. Okay, so I put all that out there, right? We tackled that, like they said, we tackled the elephant in the room. Yes, sometimes you will be sad. Sometimes, yes, you might be depressed. Sometimes, yes, you might be like, oh my God, I just can't take it no more. I don't love myself today, whatever. Okay, all that's there. But the thing to change that is, it's your choice to stay there. It's your choice to stay there. Just like Tamara said, we call them those chocolate days. We do call those chocolate days. We all have them. We all do. We just can't just sit in them though. See, I used to sit in if we're going to call chocolate days, bad days, whatever, how we want to say it. I used to sit in those days when I was younger, when I was, like in my 30s and 20s. I'm telling my age. But when I was young, I used to sit in them for months, sometime a year. I'd hold on to stuff for a long time, long time. What they say, I heard a commercial, they said long time, really long time. And did it do me any good? No. But back then I thought it was doing really well, because you know what I found out? When I stayed in that, that ugliness, I would call it, then all of a sudden, the people that didn't really know me that well, I started getting attention. And who likes attention sometimes? Raise your hand or put your hand up there in the comments or whatever. See, some people like that attention, and they will stay in a certain way just to get the attention. Just because they want to be people to say, oh, Barbara, oh, you're going through that again. Oh, I'm so sorry for that. I just don't, I just know it's a lot for you, Barbara. People, attention. We liked it as children. We grow up as adults and we still like the attention sometimes. But we have an assignment. We don't have time for that type of attention. Feeling sorry for yourself. You gotta make a choice. And the choice is you have to flip it. I always say flip it. That's my new thing all the time. I always say, we flip it. Okay? It starts with going back and saying to yourself, I love myself. And I have to make sure that this assignment I have in this world, in this life, is moving forward. It's not being static. It's not staying there. And when we start to make that choice to say, you know what, I'm just going to be in this pity party, or I'm going to feel sorry, whatever the case may be, then you are stagnated. You stagnated yourself. And then what we try to do after that is we try to blame other people as we're being stagnated. Well, if they didn't talk a certain way to me, then I wouldn't be doing this. Or if these rules in this, city, if they didn't have these rules and regulations, then I wouldn't have to worry about this, right? Have some people heard? I mean, we can go on and on about all this things that we can bring up to say why we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So we want to make sure that we stay and make those choices that's going to keep us moving in the world for your assigned purpose and the success that comes from that. Okay. So how many people, I still haven't seen no success to celebrate this week. I don't see too many people wrote it down. I know because I have this on my Facebook page too, Miss Roxy, I think she's still watching. Roxy B. Rocker, Miss Roxy, I love her. She said that, she sold 2 of her bags because she has an organization called Embracing Disability. And she said that she sold some bags that raised some money for her organization for the fundraiser. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, let's put the love out there and let people know that we care and what they go through, not what they go through, but yeah, what they go through in a positive way. Because we're always talking about, oh, I'm going through something and this and that. Why can't we say, yeah, I'm going through something really good? We always put like the negative first before we even come with positive. Okay. Yeah, flip it, Barbara. We need to make a little video for you to show them the way to say flip it. You know what? I like that, Tara. We need to talk. We do need to talk. I think we need a song and a video of that. So thank you. This is how we lift each other up, and we have different creative ideas from each other because the creativity from that person to the other person. I used to say a long time ago now this was before COVID, that I wasn't really a creative person. I really wasn't that creative person that, a lot of people was. I'm not that creative. I just kind of do the regular stuff. And then, I go to work, come back, all that kind of stuff. But I never thought I was creative. See, let's make sure. And I told myself, Tess, I just want to I'm doing a quick tech check real quick. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. So I told myself at that time I wasn't that creative. But then guess what? COVID hit. Now, I know that's like a negative all around. COVID was bad. We lost a lot of people, a lot of things, we had a lot of things changed with COVID. I mean, our whole lives got turned around. Okay. I'll take that's funny because I got the ear things on. And you said I sound better with them off. Okay. I'll leave them off. I want you to hear me. So yeah, so COVID kind of did a really a lot, right? But one thing it did for me, remember talking about how we're talking about flip it and making a choice? I think each and every one of us here in our own lives, somewhere in our lives, made different choices at that time. Some choices was needed to be made. I mean, there was like no other way except making certain choices. And then other choices was like, oh, I'm finding out some things about me even more that I didn't know about before. Like I'm more creative than I thought I was. And then I met Tamara Hunter and everybody else, and then it kind of just helped me out. So see, when the people too that has that creativity that's even, a little bit more than yours, or a lot bit more, I'm going to say, you tend to learn and grow from them. And that's what we do here. We learn and grow from each other. Now, just want to make sure I talked about comparisons. Okay, so I wanted to remind everybody, different assignments in your life. Remember I said we all have assignment in our life, right? Different assignments, different pace, different lanes. Remember that. We all have different assignments. We all have, it might be in a different pace, and you might have different lanes that we go through. But overall, you have to understand that your assignment isn't meant to look like anybody else. Comparison delays the purpose and creates unnecessary pressure. We don't need no unnecessary pressure. We don't need no extra pressure. We give ourselves enough pressure of our own. We don't need no extra pressure trying to be somebody else. Okay? So it creates unnecessary pressure. Alignment creates peace and momentum. So when you're aligned with yourself, when you're aligned with your purpose, when you're aligned and focused in that, when you're aligned, you understand you love yourself. When you're aligned and when you're unique, you know your uniqueness in yourself. All that comes together. And then you have to even think about somebody else, what they're doing, because you're so into what you're trying to do to make your assignment grow and to help other people under what the assignment that you have, the gifts that you have, that God has given you to move forward. You don't have time to be looking at somebody else. In fact, if you look at somebody else, maybe we can help each other out together and move it even faster. That's what we should be doing. Not so much of, oh, I want to be like her. Oh, she's bigger than, she's doing that more than I am. And why am I not doing that? Been there, done that. I don't like the added pressure. Let's stop, like this, what somebody said, just stop the madness. Stop the madness there. Okay, so different assignments, different pace, different lanes. And it's okay if you are not in the same pace or lane that the other person's at. I always tell people this scenario when it comes to life. If you are running in life, if you're walking in life, if you're crawling in life, if you're skipping in life, if you're dragging somewhere down on life, long as you're not sitting on the sidelines watching everybody doing their pace. That's what I always say. Always stay in the race, however the pace is, and not be the sideline person watching others. Don't get anywhere with that. No. So I want you to stay in your lanes, keep moving forward, have that momentum going, because that's so important because of what did I say earlier? What we are talking about. You have an assignment that matters to bring success, not to only just you, but to others. Okay, I think I have time for one more. Yes, I want to say this one real quickly because this is very important when it comes to experience in our life. And this has a lot to do, experience has a lot to do with your purpose, with your success, with your assignment that matters. Your experiences are not accidental. You know, I said, oh, that happened to me accidentally in my life. No, it didn't. Sorry. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. No, it was accidental. Life lessons include challenges, delays, and pain. I know you don't want to hear the PAIN word because it's painful, right? Pain often points directly to your assignment. A lot of things, challenges, delays, and stuff that we go through is a part of the learning lessons of your assignment that you need to do in your life. I used to fight it tooth and nail. I mean, we don't like to have pain. I know we don't like to be hurt. I know we all, we don't like that. We don't like to feel not being able to move the way we want to move, right? Or something that's going to stop us from doing something we really want to do. But those challenges, those delays, what we go through points the direction in your assignment. It helps you grow. And the purpose is frequently born through what you survived and learned. So whatever you survived, you learned through it. Caroline, Barbara J. Beckley, Tamara L. Hunter, anybody else that's looking here, that's on here. We take the pain. We take the challenges. We take the delays in our lives and we tell ourselves, this is helping us build us in our assignment so we can build ourselves up and then we can help build others. Because guess what? That's where I always say connection comes in it. If you can build a connection with somebody by what your lessons, your experience that you dealt with, that's secret sauce for them, for you, because now they say, wow. You hear people say, wow, I thought I was alone in this. I thought I was the only one that dealt with something like that. You hear that sometimes, right, from people? And then when you come along and you say, okay, not only did I dealt with it like you did, I've been through it. I got I had the t-shirt for it. I could do a whole seminar on the challenge and the delays that you went through, right? And when you say that to somebody, that's why it's so important to tell your stories, to tell what you go through, because people need to hear and have hope so they know that they can get through too. They have hope that they know they can get through whatever challenge, delay, or pain that they're dealing with. If they see you on the side, I always say it's like a bridge. You're on one side of the bridge. You got over that bridge. Now you're on the other side of the bridge from the challenge. And there's some other people still on the other side of that other bridge still going through it. What you need to do is say, hey, here's the bridge. Let me bring you over the bridge. Let me help you over that bridge because I got over it. Don't sit there and get over the bridge and then run away. We need more people coming back to that bridge and showing people the bridge so they can all come over and be in the same light that you were in. That's why it's so important. Life lessons is not really accidental. Those experiences mold you and groom you into your assignment of what you're supposed to be doing every single day. Okay? What have you lived that now gives you authority to serve? What have you lived that now gives you authority to serve? Think about that. Think about that. Yeah, that is cute. I have the t-shirt for it. Yes, I got a lot of t-shirts for some of the things that I went through, Tamara. Yes, I do. So with that, with just a few minutes before I end, I just want to remind everybody, you have a purpose. You were not born here by accident. I know a lot of people hear that a lot, but you weren't. We are all in certain areas of our lives for reasons. We need to make sure that we love on ourselves first so we can give people the hope that they need so they can love on themselves. We're accountable. There's accountability here if you don't realize that. I have an accountability. You have an accountability. And the first accountability is loving on you. Because you can't love on anybody, again, I'm going to repeat this because it's so important, unless you love yourself. So when you get them down days and you're saying, I hate myself, I don't want to look in the mirror. Ugh, ugly, ugly, ugly. Remember, I got a choice here. I got to change this because I have an assignment on my life and I'm an original person. I'm a unique person and I have a lot of gifts in my life that I need to give people. So I can't be sitting here hanging in the mirror talking about how ugly I am right now. I got to make sure that I push forward because people are waiting on you to get through that bridge so you can bring them through the bridge. Can't sit there on the side of a bridge. You have to get through it. Remember what I just said about things are not accidental in your life, what you go through, your experiences. It took me a long time to realize that. I'm in my late 50s. Yeah. And it took me a long time to figure that out. That's why it's so important. And I know I'm dealing with the young and the old right now, but it really is important to kind of listen to us. Now, some things I'm going to put out there, you can talk to some older people like me and other people older, and sometimes we might not make any sense. You got to make sure, you listen to the right things from some people, and then sometimes they might be a little off on some things. But that's everybody. That's anybody, young or old. We all don't know everything. We don't. That's why we need to come together and learn from each other. But what I'm talking about experience, if you know somebody that's been through an experience, I just had an interview with somebody. I'll make this quick. Wonderful doctor. His name is Dr. Joel Smith. And if you look for him, he's on all social media. Very intelligent, very wise man. He's in his 60s, he was just telling me. And I'm telling you, I told him when I was interviewing, I said, I didn't want to even interview. I just wanted you to sit there and just talk, because he had so much wisdom and he was just down to earth with it. And it just made a lot of change in even myself when I was listening to him. That's what we need to do. We need to hone in on people that has those experiences, that understands, so we can learn and grow from each other. Don't shut yourself down from others as you're building yourself up, because it could help you build yourself up. Okay. So with that, I'm going to end by saying I will see you the next Success Saturdays. Now, just because I come on twice a month, for now, I'm putting a disclaimer there for now. I might be, me and Tamara's thinking of talking about it, but for right now, I come on second and fourth Sundays. I always say Sundays, second and fourth Saturdays, at this time, for an hour. And I want you to always think about the success that you are doing in your life and celebrate it. It's a victory in your life. Even if you said one day, I drank 1 glass of water today, yay, success. That's success. You didn't drink the water yesterday, right? But you did today. So you're moving through that. There's no different. Remember, there's no levels of high success, low success. Everything that you do to move the needle in your life is successful. So with that, I'm going to end, because I haven't heard this particular video for a while. It's called We Are the Ones by Steve Poe and Juju. I want to play the slow version of it because first of all, it's just so beautiful. And to remind you that we are the ones together. We can rise together. But first, start with the fact of loving on you first. Build that foundation first. It's so important. Remember, you have an assignment. You have an assignment on your life. Build that love. See you next time.
Together, we are stronger than sadness. Together, we are stronger than cancer. Together, we are stronger. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. Heal my hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Heal my hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Heal my hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Heal my hope, hearts, hearts, love. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are the ones to change the world with our hearts.